I remember when you drank my wine. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we?
Hello, I'm with the proposition team, and before the beginning of the debate, I think they misconcept the meaning of word use. The word of use is use means not manufacture the material in nuclear bomb. So we strongly think that we have to ban the nuclear weapon. As our wonderful Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister says, we can make 3 arguments with why it is absolutely right that we have to ban the nuclear weapon for 3 reasons. First, it is not good for humans. For example, it can ruin human rights and dignity. Second, it can promote competition between a lot of nations because it can destroy all areas by nuclear weapons. Third, the possibility of economic drops. For example, North Korea or Iraq's economic drastically dropped by these weapons because they only concentrate to develop the nuclear weapons. Yes, ma'am.
You just mentioned that North Korea because of nuclear weapons. However, it could be because of paradox of the communism. Yes.
So you mentioned that it is paradox of communism.
It is not just for nuclear weapons. It could be because of paradox of communism.
Yes, but there are China, which was communism before. They have a lot of nuclear weapons. That your statement is absolutely wrong. And they discuss why it is wrong to have a war because it is too dangerous. However, it can make 2 reasons why it is absolutely false statement. First, there are a lot of wars between a lot of nations still. Second, although it is dangerous, they can use nuclear weapons to attack nation. Third, it has a lot of possibility to use weapons to ruin one's nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first details of it is Iraq and Syria and Iraq war. Second, why US and Russia use weapons? Because they used to finish war only by using nuclear weapon. Third, there are no reason why country will not use nuclear weapon because they are just scary or don't want to use it. They say surviving is more important than human lives. But is this true? What is this meaning of this? What is the meaning of the surviving is more important than human lives? That is not absolutely right. That right definition. Human is more important. Human is more important than human rights. Eliminate, and they say eliminate nuclear it costs a lot of money to eliminate them. However, it is not worthy than human rights. What is important, human or money? Of course, money. Shut up! Of course, human. Their statement is just wanting money instead of human lives. I think human is more important than money, because a nuclear weapon can kill a lot of people. So what is more worthy? Of course it is humans. Therefore, our team, the proposition team, strongly think that we have to ban the nuclear weapon for these reasons. Thank you for listening. 뭐라 듣든 말파.
Hello, I'm the opposition whip and my name is Joseph, and we are debating on the motion of this House would ban nuclear weapons. And I believe that we should not ban nuclear weapons. I have about 4 clashes. Two of them are major and 2 of them are minor clashes that I will now explain about it. The first clash, what I found, is about wars. WAR is wars. Anyway, their team has said that that nuclear weapons can make the war to happen, and they gave an example about the war in Iraq and Syria.
QI, sir.
Yes.
I don't mention the nuclear weapons simulates the war. Stimulate words. War.
Then what they said is out of topic.
I mean, nuclear weapons can make competition between a lot of nations. Such as one country has nuclear, other countries want to have more nuclear weapons, and other wants to have a lot of nuclear weapons.
I was trying to explain this after what I was talking about, and I'll talk about this first. They said that they promote competition, but in the history there was a war called the Cold War. This Cold War was a war, but actually it made the US and Soviet Union to get better technology, which made the country to get better as now. Like this competition can be a better thing for the world. And to talk about what I was talking about, that nuclear wars can make the possibility of wars to decrease, because no one will try to fight with a country which has nuclear weapons, which is very powerful. And now I'll talk about the second clash which I found, which is about human rights. They said that nuclear weapons are ignoring human rights because it is dangerous and it can make people's lives to die. Yes, but if you think like this, everything is dangerous in the world. There are lots of animals which are dangerous, so should we kill all of them and make them extinct because they are dangerous to us? And also, they said that because of this, we should ban it, but also when we ban it, there are lots of money we should use that. We should get more tax from people.
QI, sir.
This is also ignoring the right of humans.
QI, sir.
Yes.
Is this important than human? You mentioned that human life is not important than money.
No, I am talking about that when we try to ban this, the money we should get from these citizens are also ignoring the rights of humans, that there is a paradox in their...
What are you talking about?
So, the last clash I want to talk about is the economic drops of North Korea. They said that North Korea are having economic drops because they are making nuclear weapons, but this is only because they are concentrating on making nuclear weapons, not on their society or other things. US also have nuclear weapons, but they are one of the most powerful countries in the world. Like this, North Korea, there's only the fault of North Korea, not because of nuclear weapons existing in the world. Therefore, I think that we should not ban nuclear weapons. Thank you.